Hello everyone, this is part 12 of What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto-kun, what are you doing? Anko asked her boyfriend for several months. Oh, I'm sorry Anko-chan, did I wake you up? I just couldn't sleep anymore, so I decided to start packing for tomorrow. Naruto said while gazing at his beautiful girlfriend. Naruto had woken at 6 a.m. after a rough night dreaming about the Chunin exam. He was getting more and more nervous by the day. So when he woke up he knew he wouldn't be able to sleep anymore, so he got up instead. He took his checklist and started placing everything in front of him. He would have to seal everything into his belt today. He would have to seal food, weapons, a small first aid kit. Hinata had a very detailed kit with her since she was the medic of the team, and several other items that might be useful during this exam. Naruto-kun, you'll be fine. You and the rest are ready for the exam, you'll see. You guys are the strongest genin I have ever seen. We have been training for months, while others have been slacking off. You can do the sealing later, for now get back in bed, it's still early and I miss your warmth. Anko said, trying to stop her boyfriend from worrying. Naruto nodded and crawled back into bed next to her. She quickly spooned against him, holding him tight. He really enjoyed having her so close to him, it made him feel much better already. Slowly he closed his eyes and drifted back to sleep. When he woke up a few hours later he felt much better and got out of bed looking for Anko, who apparently had already woken up. He found her in the kitchen making some last-minute changes on a piece of paper. He greeted her and gave her a long kiss, thanking her for letting him sleep. So are you ready for the last meeting later on? Anko asked him. Yep, I'm ready. Just have to seal the stuff into the belt. I hope the others are doing okay. If they are as nervous as I am, their nerves must be a wreck. Naruto said while taking some toast. They'll be fine. Like I said, there's no way that you guys aren't prepared for this. The four of you trained like crazy every day for the past few months. I know for a fact that Kakashi only told his team about the Chunin exam 2 or 3 weeks ago. He simply forgot to tell them until then. Team 10 has been training for 2 months now, but I heard from Azuma that they could be a lot stronger than they are now. Anko said, looking at Naruto munching at a piece of toast. I know we trained a lot and we made some very good progress, but I'm still worried about the genin from the other villages. We can assume that they would only send their strongest genin to participate in the exam. So there might be some very strong guys competing. Especially the Suna team is strong, remember how I told you about the other day? Naruto said, frowning a little. Anko remembered how Naruto told her about meeting the Suna team a few days ago. He had been fooling around with Konohamaru. The young boy idolized Naruto because he was strong, and his grandpa had told how Naruto would be one of the strongest shinobi ever to have lived. Ever since then Konohamaru followed Naruto around trying to get him to play with him. Naruto, who always wanted a little brother, was only too happy to play with Konohamaru and his friends. But that day Konohamaru had ran into a guy who was wearing a huge package on his back. With him was a girl with 4 pigtails and who carried a fan. Naruto calmly asked the boy to put Konohamaru down before they got themselves in trouble for hurting the Hokage's grandson. At first the guy didn't seem to be willing to let Konohamaru go, but when another boy appeared wearing a huge gourd on his back he quickly changed his mind. The boy with the gourd looked really strong and Naruto had a bad feeling about this boy. He quickly told his team to avoid him at all cost. Fighting him would be very dangerous to say the least. They left the house an hour later to meet up with the team for a last meeting before the exam. They would recheck the equipment, the strategy and tactics they were going to use, etc. After that they would simply relax and hang out trying to relax. When they arrived at the training grounds they saw that Hinata and Kiba were already waiting for them. Kurenai and Shino had yet to arrive. They didn't have to wait long as they arrived a few minutes later. Alright team, this is it. You guys have come a long way. It has almost been a year since Team 8 was formed, and 6 months ago it gained an unofficial 4th member, making Team 8 without a doubt the strongest genin team in Konoha. I have seen you train, fight and laugh together, and there is no doubt in my that you guys are the best team a Junin sensei could have. Anko and myself are very proud of you all. Remember that no matter what happens. Remember that you guys are proud shinobi of the leaf. You are members of Team 8, so show them what we can do. Kurenai said, showing how proud she was of her team. They all nodded and thanked their senseis for the help they have given over the past few months. They knew that without the guidance they wouldn't be where they were now. After that, all of them spend the day together telling stories and having fun. It proved to be the best way to spend the day before the exam. They went home relaxed and ready for the days that were to come. The next morning, Naruto woke up after a good night rest. He quietly got out of bed, trying not to wake Anko, and started to prepare for breakfast. When he was done, he went up to the bedroom to wake up Anko. He knew she was worried about the exam, even though she tried not to show it. He knew her better by now. There wasn't much she could hide from him. The other way around was true as well. He put down the breakfast tray and kissed his girlfriend, trying to wake her up. Feeling his kisses, Anko opened her eyes and smiled to Naruto. Quietly they ate breakfast and waited for the other to finish eating. When Naruto was done, he tried to get up, but Anko pulled him back into bed, clinging onto him for dear life. Anko-chan, what's wrong? Naruto said, concerned. Naruto-kun, promise me you'll be careful. Don't let your guard down. I'm scared that something might happen to you. I don't know what I would do if I lost you. Anko said softly in his chest. Anko-chan, I promise that I'll be very careful. I can't promise everything will be alright, but I promise you that I will make it through this exam, and when I do we'll be together again. There's nothing in this world that will stop me from coming home to you. I love you and I always will. Naruto said before putting his arms around her, pulling her in a kiss. I love you too, Naruto-kun. And I'll wait for you to come back home. Anko said before kissing him again. After they got ready, Naruto and Anko left for the Hokage Tower, where they would meet Kiba, Hinata, Shino and Kurenai. Anko had to restrain herself from holding Naruto's hand, but knew that she couldn't. It would get Naruto and the team in trouble, since she was one of the people who would proctor during the exam. Not that she would tell anything about the exam to Naruto or the rest anyway. She had made a promise to the Hokage not to tell, so even if she wanted to, she couldn't. Besides, soon she and Naruto wouldn't have to hide their relationship anymore as soon as he made Chunin. They met up with Kurenai and the rest just in front of the tower. Anko and Kurenai bid the goodbye to the young genin. Anko whispered to Naruto that she loved him, which he told her too, and went inside the tower where they would meet the other Junin senseis. The kids went to the academy while discussing some things that had nothing to do with the exam. Just before they entered the academy, Naruto told them to wait. Guys, whatever happens in there, I'm very happy to be your teammate and friend. Let us make a promise, we leave no one behind, we watch each other's back and protect each other. We will pass this exam and become Chunin. Naruto said to his friends. It's a promise. All four of them said while Akamaru barked. I have a gift for you guys. Naruto said while getting 4 small packages out of his belt. He handed one to Kiba, Hinata and Shino. They looked surprised and grateful to Naruto for the nice gesture. When they opened the package, they saw the same set of 3 throwing knives Naruto had given Anko. You guys are part of my precious peoples and the knives approve of that. I promise you that should a person from your future family, no matter how many years from now, be in any trouble, all they will have to do is show the knives to my family. When they do, they will have the full support of the Uzumaki clan. No matter when, no matter who, and no matter what, the Uzumaki clan will stand beside you. Naruto said. The 3 of them were shocked to hear Naruto's words. They knew that he always kept his promises. They placed the knives into their special belts and thanked Naruto by giving him a hug, Hinata, and a firm handshake, Kiba and Shino, and promised him the same thing. They would always be friends, and now they would be family and allies. They went inside the academy and went straight to the 3rd floor, passing by some idiots who were incapable of recognizing a genjutsu placed on the 2nd floor. They saw Team 7 and Team Guy having some kind of disagreement, but since it was none of their business, they just ignored it. When they arrived to the 3rd floor, they went inside the room where the test would be held. They saw a lot of genin from all the different shinobi villages, and some of them looked really strong while others looked like they just graduated from the academy. Naruto quickly looked around trying to find the one who would pose the biggest threat to them. After a short while the rest of the leaf genin arrived while making a lot of noise and drawing attention to them. Naruto turned towards the entrance and saw Sasuke, Sakura, the guy who didn't have a name, Shikamaru, Chuji, Ino and the team from last year. Except for Sasuke and Sakura, he hadn't seen any of them around the village since graduation. He wondered how they would react when they saw him. He didn't have to wait long when Sakura opened her mouth calling him, asking for an explanation. Naruto, what are you doing here? How did you become a genin anyway? Sakura shrieked, hurting the ears of everybody that stood close enough to her. Damn Sakura, do you have to yell like that? And I already told Sasuke that I graduated the day after you guys when I kicked Mizuki's ass. Since he was a chunin, I was allowed to pass my genin exam. Naruto said while he waited for the pain in his ears to go away. Really? That was you, Naruto? I heard about it from my dad. He said Mizuki was beaten to a pulp, barely alive when they arrested him. What a troublesome thing to do. Shikamaru said with his lazy voice. Yeah, that was me. He had it coming to him. He hurt Iruka-sensei and tried to kill us. Naruto said. The rest of the genin who didn't know this story started to ask some details, but Naruto just ignored them. He was watching Sasuke having trouble with his fangirls. He thought it was amusing for a guy like Sasuke to have fangirls. He just didn't know what they saw in him. He figured that they just liked him because of his name and fame. Sad really, he thought. Those girls were wasting their time and energy on something that would never work. Oi, Sasuke, could you get them to keep quiet? They're making too much noise, it's really irritating. Kiba said, trying to annoy the boy even more. Shut it, dog boy. It's not like I asked them to cling to me. Or maybe you're just jealous that you don't have a fan club like I do. I don't see how any girl could be interested in you. Sasuke said, sneering at Kiba. I don't need a girl who throw herself at me, Sasuke. I prefer a girl who still has her dignity. Kiba replied while sneaking a peek at Hinata's direction. Naruto had to smile at Kiba's antics. He knew that it was his way to calm his nerves. He was about to intervene when a gray-haired boy with glasses made his way over to them. He didn't know the boy, but he wore a leaf headband, so he must be from Konoha. He supposed he was a genin from the year before. When the guy said that they were drawing too much attention, Naruto had to chuckle when Ino and Sakura shivered as they felt the intent from the other shinobi. It didn't even come close to Zabuza's amount of intent, so he and his teammates were fine. He saw how the gray-haired genin who introduced himself as Kabuto said something about this being the 7th time he participated in the chunin exam, and he wondered if the guy failed on purpose for some reason or if he was just weak. He would keep a close eye to this guy. There was something wrong with him. So you have these cards with information on shinobi. Can you show them to me? He heard Sasuke say. Apparently he had missed a bit of the conversation. Sure. What are the names of the people? Do you have them? Kabuto said to Sasuke. Rock Lee from the Leaf, Hyuga Neji from the Leaf, and Uzumaki Naruto from the Leaf. Sasuke said, trying to find their weak spots. Naruto saw Kabuto take out 3 cards from his deck and he started reading on Rock Lee and Hyuga Neji. Judging from said guys' look on their face, the information was accurate. Naruto quickly grabbed Kabuto's hand and took his own card. He started reading and a frown appeared on his head. This was way too detailed to be done by a genin, he realized. Uzumaki Naruto. Age: 14. Birthday: October 10th. Blood type: B. Rank: genin. Number of missions: D rank 35 Taijutsu, low chunin level. C rank 19 Genjutsu, academy level. B rank 00 ninjutsu, mid chunin level. A rank 01 Kenjutsu, chunin level. S rank 00 overall, low to mid chunin level. Remarks: defeated chunin Mizuki after being tricked, resulted in passing genin exam. Trained for 6 months under guidance of Mitarashi Anko. Joined Team 8 afterwards to replace clan members when on clan business. Said to have learned several high-level ninjutsu and kenjutsu. Defeated one of the Onokudai, high chunin level shinobi, on a escorting mission to the wave. Defeated Momoki Zabuza, demon of the mist, high chunin level shinobi, in combat during escort mission to the wave. rumored to have created several jutsu on his own. I don't know where you acquired all this information about me, but this is way too detailed to let out in the open. Naruto said, destroying the card in the process. I'm very good at what I do. Kabuto said while staring at Naruto. You're not who you say you are. There's no way a genin would be able to gather mission stats, who are kept secret even from Junin except the Junin sensei of said team. So don't try to tell me you just went inside and asked for the information. Naruto continued trying to find out just who Kabuto is. Kiba, Shino and Hinata were keeping an eye on Kabuto as well. If Naruto said something was wrong, they knew something was wrong. They trusted their friend and teammate. Sasuke, who had wanted to know about Naruto's weak points, decided that he should make himself known again. Whatever, loser, don't try to act cool. It doesn't suit you at all. We all know you're an idiot, so no need to pretend. Sasuke said, trying to anger Naruto. Yeah, Naruto, why don't you just go away and let the smart and talented people be? Sakura continued. Besides, there's no way you could compete with Sasuke-kun. You're just a loud loser who thinks he can become a shinobi. Ino added as well. She didn't really hate Naruto, but since Sasuke didn't like him, she went along hoping that it would help her in gaining Sasuke's love. Naruto just ignored them and went back to him team. He told them what had been written on the card and they agreed that something fishy was going on with Kabuto. While they were talking amongst them, Kabuto had insulted some shinobi who attacked him. When they saw Kabuto vomit, they wondered what happened since they saw him evade the blow. During the commotion, Naruto quickly made some cage bunshin and told them to henge themselves and hide all over the room. He had a gut feeling they would be useful even if it was to guard their back. Better safe than sorry in his opinion. A few seconds after the bunshin had hidden themselves in the room, the proctor and several chunin arrived in the room. They ordered everyone to take a seat and to shut up. Alright, listen up you little maggots. This is the first test in the chunin exam and I'm sorry to say that for a lot of you this will be as far as some of you will get. I'll make sure of that. Now, we will distribute a sheet of paper. Do not look at it until we tell you to. There are some rules and explanations which I will give right now. I will not answer any question or repeat myself, so you better listen well. There are 10 questions which you have to answer, but the 10th question will be announced 15 minutes before the time ends. Now for some rules, you have 1 hour time to answer the questions, after that it's over. This is a team-based exam. This means that if one of your team fails this test, the whole team's fails. If you get caught cheating, you lose 2 points for every time you get caught. If we catch you cheating 5 times, you and your team are done. The man in front said. The chunin in the room started to hand out the test, and when everyone received their copy they were told to begin. Naruto quickly turned over his paper and started reading the questions. He had a bad feeling about this. He hated and despised written test with a passion ever since the academy. He hoped he would be able to answer the questions this time. He had been studying with Anko for almost a year now, so he should be able to solve some simple questions. When he didn't know the answer to the first question, he skipped it and went to the second question and once again found that he wasn't capable to answer it. He quickly read the 9 questions on the paper and a frown appeared on his face. These questions were way out of his league. There was no way he would be able to answer these questions. How was he supposed to answer these questions? He looked around and saw that many of the genin there were having the same thought, judging by their faces. Somehow knowing that he wasn't the only one who had trouble made him feel better about himself. Alright, think Naruto, there has to be a trick or something. Let's think this over. What doesn't seem right here? Naruto thought, trying to calm himself down. He started replaying the words that man with the bandana had told him. There was something that wasn't right, but what? The fact that if one of the team fails, the rest fails too seems pretty normal. In missions, if a teammate gets killed, the mission is considered a failure is true. So that could be seen as a preparation for that. Okay, next is the cheating part. You get caught cheating, you lose 2 points. Now that doesn't seem right. When I cheated in the academy they gave me a 0 for the test or kicked me out of class. Here you just lose 2 points but you can continue the test. Naruto told himself in his mind. Anko-chan told me that chunin were responsible for low to medium risk missions and would have to be able to things such as information gathering and spying. Naruto said, remembering one of Anko's numerous lessons. Then it clicked in Naruto's head. Of course, Since this was an exam to see if the genins were ready to become a chunin, so they would have to show that they had the abilities of a chunin. They were supposed to gather the correct information, in this case the answers to these questions. This meant that somewhere in this room someone had the correct answers. All he had to do was find that person and find a way to copy his answers. He looked at his teammates and hoped that they would figure it out soon. But he saw Hinata activate her Byakugan and knew she had figured it out as well. Shino was using one of his bug to spy on someone, so he was okay as well. This left Kiba. Looking over to Kiba, he found him writing down some answers on his sheet, so this meant he had found a way as well. So now only he would have to find a way to cheat without getting caught. While Naruto was trying to find a way to cheat, Anko and Kurenai were sitting in the Junin lounge with Asuma and Kakashi. All four of them had a team competing in the exam, so they decided to spend some time together catching up with each other. Anko, who couldn't stay very long since she was the examiner of the second test, was really nervous and it showed. Kurenai had tried everything to get her to calm down, but nothing worked. Anko, will you please sit down? You're driving me nuts with your constant running around. They will be fine, I promise. Kurenai said, trying for the 10th time. I know, but I still worry. I know they're strong and smart, but still I can't help to be nervous. Not just about the first test, I'm really scared something might happen to him. I mean them. Anko said, sighing. Oh yes, Anko, I heard you took on a student. That really surprised me coming from you. I heard some rumors about something with Mizuki and Uzumaki Naruto. Asuma said. Yeah, I heard about that as well. I wonder how much of those rumors are true though. I mean, a academy student beating a chunin into a coma. Kakashi said, looking up from his orange book. If those rumors say Naruto defeated Mizuki, who wanted to steal the forbidden scroll and leave the village, and Naruto getting promoted to genin, then those rumors are true. Anything else is probably exaggerated. Anko told them. Anko listened how they started laughing and telling that there was no way a academy student like Naruto could defeat Mizuki without help. She was ready to bash their head in, but Kurenai held her back, saying that she should let them think what they wanted. They would see very soon how strong Naruto really was. It would be a very sweet revenge, she told her. Anko nodded her head but was still pissed off at Kakashi and Asuma for making fun of her boyfriend. Well, no matter what, I'm afraid that our students will be back sooner than we think. Asuma said. When Kurenai asked what he meant, he told her that the examiner for the first test was Morino Ibiki, who was the captain of the interrogation and T squad. Seeing Kurenai didn't understand what he meant, he explained that Ibiki specialized in psychological warfare and that he would make sure the first test would weed out those who weren't ready. He would make the test a psychological game, and genin who had no experience in these kind of tactics would be in for a very hard time. Anko had to agree with Asuma. She knew Ibiki personally from the time when she was part of his team. He was very good at what he did and he knew how to put enormous amounts of pressure on people. He knew how the human mind worked and he used his knowledge to the maximum. But unlike Asuma's and Kakashi's team, Naruto and the rest had been prepared for this kind of thing. She and Kurenai had talked about every major group of shinobi like the Anbu, Hunternen, Interrogation and T-Squad with them. They had discussed how each group worked and what they did. They had taught them well, Anko realized. Seeing she had only 20 minutes left before the end of the first test, she stood up and said goodbye. Kurenai wished her good luck and told her she would be seeing her in a few hours. Naruto had never been so happy that he had prepared for everything. Just before the examiner had entered, he had made several cage bunchins and ordered them to hide inside the room. Now he had a way to get the right answers. All he had to do was order each clone to remember one or two answers and dispel themselves, giving him the information he needed. It was perfect. The clones had hanged in several objects around the room and were unnoticeable for everyone else. One by one the clones got the information he needed by spying on the other genins in the room, and he started to write down the correct answers. Just when he had written down the last answer, the man in the bandana told them that they would now receive the 10th and final question. He explained that they had the choice to take the final question or not. He said that if they chose to take the question and failed to get the correct answer, then not only would they fail the exam, they would also be forbidden to ever take it again, meaning that they would remain genin forever. If they chose not to take the question, they would fail as well. He started laughing when he saw the shocked faces of the genin in the room. One by one teams gave up, not wanting to risk their future on this one question. They could always take the exam again next time. Naruto looked at his team and saw that none of them had any intention of not taking the 10th question. They were sure that they would succeed in answering the question correctly. Naruto smiled when he saw Hinata's determined face, showing she wouldn't back down from this. She had really changed, he thought. Before she would have given up, not wanting to take such a chance, but she was no longer that shy and insecure girl. She now was a young woman who knew what she wanted and who was willing to do everything it took to get it. He looked around and saw that none of the other rookie genin from the Leaf had gotten up, and secretly he was very glad for that. He wanted to show them how strong Team 8 really was, and for that they would need to face each other. After about 5 minutes, Ibiki saw that the remaining team would not give up, and he allowed a small smile to appear on his scarred face. He had expected a lot more teams to give up, but at least he could say he made many of them quit before they even started. Very well, seeing that you won't back down from this challenge, I can gladly say that each remaining team in this room has passed the first part of the Chunin exam. Well done, Ibiki said, shocking the remaining genin. What about the 10th question? A genin asked. Ibiki laughed and explained the true purpose of this test. First, they would have to successfully gather the necessary information to answer the questions. Since Chunin would be asked to do such information gathering missions and that they would have a team at the disposal, they were also responsible for the survival of the members of his team. Getting caught or noticed usually meant having to fight your way out and could result in the death of a member or members. The 10th question was a question to test their courage and willingness to complete a mission even with the odds against them. There would be missions where they would face a situation that was unfavorable to them. Would they continue the mission risking everything, or would they abort it like cowards? Sometimes they would have to risk lives in order to complete the mission. This was part of being a shinobi, and those who left were not ready to take that responsibility. He told them that information could mean winning the war or losing it. The right information would bring benefit and would complete the mission, while false information usually meant death and defeat. That's why it was so important to gather information, and that's why the enemy would do anything to get their hands on valuable information. He took off his bandana and showed the remaining genins his scarred skull, which was full of scars from torturing and interrogation. Just then the window shattered and a ball of something flew through the classroom. A large banner was attached to the ceiling by 2 kunai and read, Mitarashi Anko, examiner of the second test. X. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.